New Hampshire can be free with your help. Sign the petition and learn more at nhexit.us.
We started out at,
Get your ticket out and get a shot of it.
Yes. Can I see your ticket?
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, so, sorry.
It's
Do
okay.
you have your driver's license now?
Yes.
And your registration?
No. It doesn't have my name on it.
What doesn't have your name?
The registration?
Who's it registered to?
The Shire Free Church.
We'll double check on that one. Hang on. Hi, this is Linda down in parking. Two questions. I need a court date, and I also, I think Amanda in? Is she the one that does the court compliance?
Look at the bullshit on the wall. They do great things.
Is that Jan?
Sure is.
So I just didn't know how to run these. Yeah. No. Great. Can you remind, please don't do my desk. Okay. What was the name of the church again?
The charge?
The name of the church?
Oh, Shire Free Church.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna write it out to him and then she can go to court with him.
She's writing it to you.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I heard her answer, oh, is he in charge of the Shire Free
Thank
Church?
you. And I can serve this, right? Okay, then I'll have to have it served. Bye-bye. Okay, so because you're the director of the church.
But I am too. Just because some lady at the court said something doesn't mean anything.
When she looks up the document, it's under his name.
What document?
So you can certainly go to court.
Does the court have some document with the owners of the church? Because I'm one of them.
Probably referring to
Old court records or something?
She's probably referring to a nonprofit, which is not what owns this car. The car is owned by an LLC, so it's not right to put my name on there.
Were you operating the car? Or
Don't answer
were
that.
you operating the car?
We can talk about that in court.
You're not going to answer.
I was already planning on not answering.
Sir, who does? Thank you. So I'll have somebody go to the house and serve you, because the police officer has to serve you.
Okay.
And I don't know how long it's going to
Bye-bye now.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have a complaint alleging a non-criminal violation for expired parking meter on January 27th of this year at Central Square. I'm not sure exactly what some of this even means, to be honest. Parked at expired meter BWW705MT BK Toyo $15. What does that even mean?
I believe the Toyos are the tires,
Okay.
and this is very strange to me. I've dealt with parking meter issues in the past. I am not familiar with why it's written this way for parking. I just believe that it's an expired meter, and that is my understanding is that's the number designation of the meter.
Okay.
So,
Did you wish to enter a plea or have us just scheduled for trial?
I may be willing to enter a guilty plea, but I'm not a lawyer, so I don't understand the charge, and I just would want to see if I can ask a few questions.
Ask who a few questions.
You.
Okay. Well, let me just tell you first of all that this is a non-criminal violation, so the court couldn't appoint a lawyer for you because it's not an offense that carries with it potential for time in jail. Okay, if you want to ask a question, go ahead. If I can answer it, I will. If not, I'll tell you I won't.
Okay, my first question is, am I entitled to a fair trial?
Yes?
And would it be a fair trial if there was something like a conflict of interest?
I would have to know what the conflict of interest would be.
But just to answer the question, that would it be a fair trial if there was a conflict of interest?
I can't answer that question without knowing specifically what you're referring to.
Well, not making an argument. I'm not making an argument
Sure.
that there is or anything. And who do you represent?
I work in the court system, I don't represent anyone. I don't represent the state, I don't represent you, I work for the petition branch.
And, well, I guess that's all of my questions.
I'm sorry?
I guess that's all my questions.
Okay. Would you like us to schedule this case for a trial, or what would you like to do?
Yeah.
Okay, trial date then.
July 20th at 10 a.m.?
Did you wish to enter a plea or not?
No.
Okay. All right, so I've encountered a motion to dismiss filed yesterday. Does the state have the motion?
We do.
All right. Shall we address that first?
I think that's best.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and tell me about your motion, please.
So I motioned yesterday to dismiss because I hadn't received any discovery yet.
All right.
And I went to the police station to file, to get it to the prosecution. And the woman there told me, when she was handing me back the paperwork for the motion, like stamped, she said, I tried to email you 4 times. And I was like, whoa, I forgot that you asked me for an email. I wasn't looking into emails. I thought it was going to come into mail. I check like my mail every day. And I was like, wow, they really haven't sent discovery yet, so I'm going to go dismiss it. Then she told me that yesterday. But if you don't mind me approaching, I would like to show you what she emailed
You
me.
can give it to the court's hearing officer.
This is exactly what she emailed me. Sorry, let me read it really fast. It says, prior to sending any documents, we need to verify that the email address you submitted is correct and operational. So they were waiting for me to verify my email address. They still didn't send me discovery. So they still didn't send me discovery. Either way, I would be unable to move forward today because I didn't look at the discovery until yesterday. I think that if you're emailing someone and they're not verifying, you should have to send it in the mail personally. I wasn't expecting to check my email because they just asked me for an email. I know, I would have thought that's a backup.
So would you like me to enter this as your exhibit?
Yes, please.
All right. See, I'm sorry, did you say you did get some discovery?
Only after midnight last night did I look at it.
What did you get?
The complaints, a picture of a car, just the ticket.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell me about your motion?
Just basically, I really didn't actually get given any discovery until yesterday.
Sergeant?
Your Honor, the state is not objecting in any way to a continuance if the court's pleasure would be. We are aware that there was some type of miscommunication between Ms. Freeman and the process of getting discovery. There are 2 processes. One, you can come directly to the window. There is a fee associated with that. But many people elect to receive their communications via email. This would have been either done in person at the window or typically on the phone, where the party that's requesting it gives the secretaries the email address that they would want. They then explain that we're going to send an email, we need you to respond so we can verify that we have the correct email, that it's not being sent to the improper person. That email, which I believe is the exhibit the defense put forward, and we have no objection to because we have it as well, there was no response. So the secretaries are not going to send to an unverified email. Yesterday, Ms. Freeman did come in. She filed that motion, which we have a copy of that as well. And from there, the secretaries, on their own, sent that verification email. I have a copy of their response, which I don't know, it's probably relevant, I just have to find it, Your Honor. And I can give you the times, and I can enter it as one if you would like. This is dated yesterday at 4 o'clock. I believe Ms. Freeman came in around 3:30, which is when they typically close. And that was sent, I was reading about it. The secretary sent it on the 14th, 11:42 a.m. Ms. Freeman, just by email, responded yesterday at 3:42, and the discovery was sent at 4 o'clock right before they went on. I don't have a copy for it. But as said, the state does not object to the court's pleasure in giving Ms. Freeman some time to review discovery at her request as a continuance as opposed to a straight-up dismissal.
Am I able to respond to me about
When
it?
he's done, yeah. Okay. Oh, just give me 1 second, I want to mark this right.
Okay.
Steve? Nope. Please do. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I don't expect them to just send it to an unverified email address. But the second thing is he says, oh, the secretary will explain to you that you have to go on there and accept your email, verify your email. She didn't say anything like that. It was a younger one, not Margot Best, not the one I talked to yesterday who was actually doing the emailing, not the one who yesterday told me, I tried to email it to you 4 times, but a younger one. And she was like, oh, just so you know, like, we're gonna send this to you, but just so you know, like, last minute, you can put an email too if you want. Some people would rather have it that way, but that made it sound to me like that was like we can also send it to you via email, and I never thought of it again. I expected that I needed to have it in person. She didn't make it sound anything like how he's characterizing what she would have said to me. It's not what she said to me. And I still stand by that it should be dismissed because it wasn't delivered. Whether she tried to verify an email, she could have been reading the email written down wrong. She could have been trying to verify some email that she couldn't read the handwriting of for a month and a half instead of just going ahead and sending it physically to the address on file.
Okay. All right. Well, I believe that you are entitled to a remedy here. I don't agree that dismissal is the correct remedy. And I do believe that you are entitled to the continuance that you asked for when you said you needed more time.
Okay.
All right? All right. So based upon the motion to dismiss, I'm going to deny that motion to dismiss, but I'm going to grant you continuance based upon the fact that discovery was provided to you late per court rules. So we'll have a new trial date.
August 7th at 1:30.
That's it for today, then. Thank you.
Thank
I
you,
do
Your Honor.
have one other question.
Yes.
So last time we were here, I asked you who you represent, and as I'm not a lawyer and I still don't understand the nature or the cause of the charge or the proceedings, I'm still really confused about the answer that you gave me last time we were here.
I don't represent anyone. I work for the judicial branch.
So
I've been nominated by the governor or confirmed by the executive council. I don't represent anyone.
if you don't represent anyone, I'd have to object to that. I'm a little concerned.
Hang on a second. Can we get Sergeant Short back in here?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Freeman is making additional arguments.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So I have to object to the idea that you don't represent anyone. I'm a little concerned now. Is this your own private court that you're running?
I work for the State of New Hampshire Judicial Branch. I have been
So-
appointed as a circuit court judge, so I don't represent anyone. By that, I mean I don't represent the state, I don't represent you.
Okay, then just who signs your paychecks?
I don't receive actual paychecks. Everything is done electronically for me, so I don't know who signs them.
Well, who gives you an electronic paycheck?
I believe it comes via the State of New Hampshire. I'm not sure if it's the Department of Administrative Services or who it's from.
So you're telling me that You and the prosecution are both paid by the state of New Hampshire?
I don't know who pays the prosecutor.
Well, I do know. It's a matter of public record.
Okay.
So,
what is,
I'm just
so you know,
asking-
hang on. What is your argument? I'm not going to answer your questions. What are you
Well,
trying
you
to
told me
argue
to
to
answer
me?
some questions, so I'm asking some questions. My next argument is, I don't believe that I can get a fair trial if I'm being judged and also prosecuted by the same entity.
Well, if you're referring to the state of New Hampshire, I think that I'm going to have to reject your argument based upon the doctrine of separation of powers, which is enunciated in Article 37 of Part 1 of the New Hampshire State Constitution, that says that the different branches of government are separate. I don't answer to him, and I don't represent the state as far as this case is concerned. So that argument is I'm going to reject the argument. So if your request is for dismissal on the basis, it's denied.
Okay, well, thank you for answering the question of who you actually represent.
I don't represent anyone. I work for the state of New Hampshire Judicial Branch.
So yeah, you're representing them.
That's what you're saying, but I'm telling you what my position is.
Okay,
Okay?
well, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're all set for today. So this is the matter of Bonnie Freedom. The parking matter scheduled for trial today. I have Ms. Freeman's motion to dismiss, and I have an objection to the motion. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to defer ruling on the motion. I'm going to hear the evidence for trial, and then I'll issue a ruling on the motion at a later date, which will include whatever finding I do or do not make.
We will call Jane McDermott.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide to the court is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Please have a seat. State your name and the record. Spell your last name.
Jane McDermott, McDermott.
Go ahead.
Jane, how are you employed?
I'm employed with the city of Keene to the parking services,
How many years have you been doing that?
11 years.
And what duties do you have in your role as parking enforcement?
Well, I write parking tickets. We walk along the street if there's a meter that's expired. We have to check our apps to see if they paid online or if they paid one of the kiosks in that zone, or the parking meter. And if they haven't, then we write tickets.
Do you know what type of parking meters the city uses?
The parking meters are Duncan. The kiosks are Calais. And then the phone app, the Park Mobile.
And all those systems work in relative conjunction through different tools and apps that you have access to as parking enforcement.
Correct.
And obviously each one of those is a little different, but how do they keep the time mostly?
Well, the meters are all quartz meters, and the other ones are, they're license plate, and they buy how much time that they want, and it just ticks down with regular time.
So you can do the mobile, like by specific minutes or hours or max time, that's through the mobile app, or you could put money in the meter.
Correct.
Counsel, Sergeant, you're reading your witness. Please refrain.
I realized that as I was, I apologize. How are these meters maintained for the city?
We maintain them. The kiosks give us messages if there's a problem, like if they get plugged up or the battery's getting low and we have to change the battery and things like that. So we maintain them ourselves. They send us the blueprints and stuff like that, things that we need to do if we come up on a problem that we're not used to fixing. And then the other parking meters are just basically changing a battery in them. But yes, we maintain them ourselves.
And is there any specific message or any way that you're told in advance if a meter is malfunctioning?
With the Calais, it sends us a message on our phone.
Okay. So I'd like to draw your attention to the matter at hand. On January 27, 2023, at approximately 3:30, were you on duty?
Yes.
Do you recall issuing a parking ticket to a black Toyota with a Montana registration?
Objection, he's leading the witness. Told her like what color and everything.
Response?
If that was leading, I can rephrase it.
Would you rephrase the question?
You were on duty that day,
Yes.
and if I can draw your attention to what I would like to mark State's Exhibit 1, do you remember issuing this ticket?
It's on Central Square West on 93, I believe.
Can you read to me what the registration is, what type of car it is, what color it is, what year it goes to?
Yeah, it's Montana license plate number, BWW705, and it was Central Square West, meter number 93, a black Toyota.
And when you, prior to issuing that parking ticket, what did the meter read?
It blinks zeros.
And what does that mean?
There was no time on it.
And if I can approach with what we would like State's Exhibit 2,
Go ahead.
I have conferences coming. Is this an accurate depiction of a blown-up photo that is connected to that parking summons?
Yes, it's a picture that we take with our,
Ma'am, you need to let him finish
Oh, I'm sorry.
asking his question, please.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I think I was,
Okay.
for the most part, thank you. Is that an accurate depiction of the photo that is on as part of that parking ticket?
Yeah, we take those pictures ourselves with each ticket. It doesn't allow us to proceed until we take a picture of it, so.
And the day of the 27th, was the meter functioning properly?
Yes.
Any indication that it was not functioning properly?
No.
And I think you put it in there a little. When you issue this parking ticket, what procedure do you typically follow?
We put in the license plate number of the vehicle, and then we check the meter again just to make sure that it is blinking zeros. Write the number down, the meter number, and then it triggers us to take a picture before it prints the ticket.
And earlier I drew your attention to what we marked as Exhibit 1.
It has not, nothing's been marked at this point.
Oh, I'm sorry. If I can have I may have just sidestepped the procedure. I thought I asked.
You indicated you wanted to have it marked, but it hasn't been presented to me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can I approach John? If we could have that. Oops, sorry. Marked as Exhibit 1. And this is 2.
Ms. Freeman,
Yeah.
any objection to me marking these as exhibits?
I need
Here,
to-
we'll send them over with the court security officer.
No objection.
Okay. So we'll mark them as states B. First, the ticket will be marked as states 1, and the photo as states 2, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Just 1 second while I do that. Whoever has your phone on, please turn it off, it's distracting. Okay, thank you, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. So what the document that we listed as Exhibit 1, that's the parking ticket that you issued that day?
Correct.
And at one point, after the ticket was issued, did somebody come in and want to dispute the ticket?
Yes.
Do you know who that was?
It was both Ian and Mrs. Freeman.
I'd like the record to reflect that witness has identified Ms. Freeman as coming in to claim responsibility for this parking ticket.
Objection, I didn't do that.
I think the testimony was she wanted to dispute it.
Well, sure, that's what she testified to, and then he said something else.
That's what I mean. The testimony wasn't that she took responsibility for it. The testimony was she came in to dispute it.
Correct.
That I will correct myself.
So the objection
Record
is
reflect that. Thank you. And no further questions.
Okay. Ms. Freeman, do you have any questions of the witness?
Before I do, I'd like to move to throw out the complaint because the witness has not offered any actual evidence. She didn't testify to any evidence pertaining to me actually parking the car there, operating the car. And this
The
is
state
his
hasn't
only-
rested yet, so the motion is premature, if anything. So
This
the
is his
motion
only
is denied
witness.
at this time. Do you have any questions of the witness?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So you said you write tickets for the city of Keene. How many tickets per hour do you usually write?
There is no like specific, it depends on how busy the city is and how many people are in compliance. So maybe the average amount of tickets is like 30 a day. I don't know what the time would be between that.
And how many tickets would you have usually written by now if you weren't in court today?
Well, today is my day off, so I wouldn't have written any tickets today.
Okay. Today is your day off. That was going to be my second question. How much are you being paid for this appearance?
I get my normal hourly rate,
So what is that?
which is $25 an hour.
$25 an hour. Are you a cop or a deputized?
Oh,
Who is the complaining party in this incident?
City of Keene.
Objection, non-responsive, that's not a human being.
Overruled.
I guess the city of Keene can complain. It must be a person, but okay. So is there a victim? And if so, who is it?
Your Honor, I object. This isn't relevant.
There has to be a victim for there to be there has to be cause, and there has to be injury.
This goes to, I think, Ms. Freeman's motion to dismiss.
I'm
I'll
not
let her
really
ask-
referring to
just
that.
can
Well, I'm not referring to that. I'm referring
Let-
to
let-
this
can I-
matter.
Can I finish, please?
Yeah.
This goes to her motion to dismiss, I think, so I'll let her ask a couple of questions related to that, because I am deferring ruling on that motion. So I'll let her ask a couple of questions related to that. So the objection is overruled for now. Go ahead, Ms. Freeman, would you like to repeat the question, please?
Is there a victim in this matter, and if so, who is it?
I have no idea. I don't understand what you're asking.
Is there a victim in the matter that we're here for today?
I don't believe so.
You don't believe that there's
I-
even a victim, but you believe, okay.
Your Honor, I object. Ms. McDermott's role as a parking officer for the city, she's not an attorney, she's not a paralegal, she wouldn't have a way to answer this to her profession that we're aware of.
I think she's answered the question, so,
Okay, and
but I don't disagree.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
factually, what is the city of Keene?
Again, Your Honor, it's this, I don't believe in her capacity
She
as
answered about the
a
city of
parking
Please don't interrupt, one at a time.
enforcement officer, that she has the capacity to answer that legal question.
I agree, that objection is sustained.
Can you describe the car in question without referring to notes?
It was a black Toyota with Montana plates.
Okay. And did you look up who the car was registered to?
No, that's not my position to do so.
So you did. Got it.
Linda would have done that.
Did Linda tell you who the car was registered to?
Well, you came in and she said it was,
Objection, that's not, she's not
I believe
answering.
she's answering your
you
question.
read, when you came,
Hang on.
okay.
The objection's overruled. Go ahead, you can finish answering the question.
When you came in, she handed me the paperwork to sign and told me that you were the registered owner, so, or
That's a lie.
or the church was,
Okay, so
that you're affiliated with.
she answered two different people, so I'm in two different entities. I need to know who Linda told her the car was registered under.
Ask your question, please. But do not argue with the witness or tell the witness that she's lying. That is argumentative. It's not going to be permitted.
All right, well, who did Linda tell you the car was registered under?
The church,
Got it. The church. What church?
whatever church you're affiliated with. I don't remember the name of it.
So you don't have an answer.
Again, Your Honor, it's argumentative.
Agreed. Question was answered. Please go on.
Do you have any, oh, actually I have one question for that. Are you certified to repair these meters?
There is no certification to repair the meters. You're trained to repair the meters.
So that didn't answer my question. Are you trained to repair the meters?
Yes.
Okay. And do you have any evidence besides your claim that the meter was actually expired today?
It was blinking zero, so
No,
it,
that's not my question. Sorry. I'm not trying to argue with her. She's just not answering my question. Does she
I
have
think
any?
she's trying to answer your question.
Well, that's not an evidence. She's just claiming it
She's
again.
answering your question. Anything she answers is technically evidence. So why don't you ask your question one more time, and we'll see what the answer comes out.
Did you hear my question? Because my question was,
Yeah.
does she have any evidence besides her
Ask your
claim?
question once again.
Do you have any evidence besides your claim that the meter was actually expired?
other evidence, I don't understand.
Was there a picture? Did you take a picture of the meter blinking, or are you just claiming that it was blinking?
I claim that it's blinking, and
Yes, I
it,
know. But do you have any evidence other than that?
no.
Okay, no. Is that true? I have to refer to the... Okay. Do you have any evidence that I was operating the car?
It isn't relevant to parking tickets. It doesn't matter who's operating the car. I got evidence the car was parked there.
I just asked a question. So do you?
I don't understand what you're asking.
Do you have any evidence that I was operating the car?
No.
No. So you might have already answered this. Do you or your department research the owners of the cars that you ticket?
I don't know if they do or not. It's not my capacity.
But you don't.
No.
Let's see. Do you work for a corporation?
I work for the city of Keene.
Do you work for a corporation?
I work for the city of Keene.
Objection, non-responsive.
I think she's answered the question. Move on, please. The objection is overruled.
Okay, is the city of Keene a corporation?
I don't believe so.
All right, I move to strike her testimony because she's incompetent to testify, because she doesn't even know that.
Overruled. You've asked her question. She can't answer. That's not necessarily uncommon.
She's
So that's overruled.
incompetent
Please continue.
to testify, I believe, so.
Okay, thank you. Please go on.
Does the corporation you work for, which is the city of Keene, own the parking space in question?
I believe they do.
I believe her. Well, how did they come to own it?
I have no idea.
If you steal something, can you legitimately claim to own it?
Your Honor, I think this is going into another argument at stage, which also is part of this objection. Ms. McDermott doesn't have the legal recourse to understand these questions. I think they're just trying to bait her into answers that she doesn't understand, and I would object to this line of questioning.
Well,
The objection is sustained.
I didn't get to respond to his objection. I mean, he even admitted that it has to do with my my motion to dismiss, which he doesn't understand is reason for me being able to bring it up.
I've reviewed your motion, and I'm not sure I understand how the question is relevant even to your motion.
Okay. What gives your corporation you work for the right to threaten to steal cars from people?
Your Honor, again, objection is
That-
not relevant.
it is
to
relevant.
what she
That's what's
does
happening here.
For her job.
That's your allegation. The objection is sustained.
Does your ticket that you wrote require that the corporation you've ticketed be within the state of New Hampshire?
I write the tickets for the city of Keene, so they're for the city of Keene, yes.
That doesn't answer my question. I'm sorry.
Or the state of New Hampshire.
I'll try to put
as
it a
well.
different way. Does your ticket require that whoever you have ticketed be within the state of New Hampshire?
Because I can't write tickets outside of the city of Keene, yes. When you're in the city of Keene, you're within,
So it is your opinion that the corporation that you ticketed is within the state of New Hampshire, yes or no?
Your Honor, objection. She can't give an opinion on a legal matter.
Well, he didn't even pass the bar. How can he give any opinions on
The
legal?
objection sustained.
I don't even know how he could be my prosecutor or be up here. Factually, what is the state of New Hampshire since it's been brought up now?
what,
Factually, what is the state of New Hampshire?
it's the governing state over the city.
All right, I'm done asking questions for her, and I'd like to call the state as a witness. I mean, the city of Keene as a witness.
This isn't your time to call anybody as a witness.
Okay, well, I'll do that when I can. I rest my question for her.
Any redirect?
Your Honor. Do you commonly write tickets, parking tickets, of any nature, to vehicles that have out-of-state plates?
Yes,
On the system that's used to issue a parking summons with the computer, will it allow you to write an expired meter ticket if the meter's not expired?
well, it depends on what was being used for, like, under the Calais. If that license plate has paid, it tells me, in case I didn't see the number, when I put the license plate number in, it will tell me that they've paid, and do I want to continue. So it does stop me from writing a ticket that somebody has paid. The meters aren't like that. They're not connected to the phone.
Thank you. You have no further.
Any recross?
Yes, I'd like to know what type of meter was this car in question parked at?
A regular parking meter.
So what is a Cal A parking meter?
It's the kiosks.
So I mean, this car was not parked at a Cal A parking meter?
Correct.
No further questions.
Okay. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
You can step down, thank you.
Your Honor, can our witness be excused, or do we expect that she'll be called back?
Do you intend to call Ms. McDermott? I'm asking you.
I didn't hear you, sorry.
Do you intend to call Ms. McDermott as a witness?
No.
You've had the opportunity to cross-examine. The answer is no, then she can be excused.
Thank you. state has nothing further. Thank you.
Okay, can I put in a motion to dismiss based on the fact that the state didn't present any evidence that the parking meter was expired or that I was operating the car in question?
Sergeant, response?
Your Honor, I think this argument would fall to an absurd conclusion with law. If I borrow your car and get a parking ticket, and then I contest it, I'm not the owner of the car, but I am taking, me contesting it claims that I want to contest the ticket that I got. If I wasn't operating a vehicle and got a parking ticket, why would I come forward to fight it? It doesn't make sense that someone would come, claim a parking ticket so they could fight it to say that they didn't have proof that they were driving. There wouldn't be proof of somebody who was operating it. Ultimately, it would go to the registered owner, which I believe we heard in this case is an entity out of state. So there's processes for that situation as well. But if I borrowed a car and I got a parking ticket, I don't expect that my friend or associate would be left with that ticket. I would go in and either pay it myself or contest it. And when you do that, you are saying that you were the one responsible for this matter, whichever way it comes out. And I don't think it comes to a conclusion that we can hide behind that a vehicle is registered to an entity out of state to never ever come to a conclusion of paying a parking ticket or going through a toll booth. There's already methods in place for those processes to play out. And it doesn't make sense that if Ms. Freeman wasn't the responsible party for the vehicle that day, that why would she come in to contest the ticket to begin with?
It seems to me, can I answer? I can't answer that ever.
Hang on. The problem I have is this. The testimony that I heard was that the vehicle was registered to a church. And there was nothing to indicate that Ms. Freeman was operating the vehicle and parked the vehicle. And the evidence was also that when she came in to contest the vehicle, it wasn't just her, it was her and Mr. Freeman that came in to contest the ticket. And while it may not make sense for someone who wasn't the person who parked the car to come in and contest the ticket, I have had experience with that working in the court where someone came in to contest a parking ticket that someone else had gotten. So it's not out of the question, somewhat nonsensical, but not out of the question. But I also don't have the ordinance here that tells me who the properly chargeable person would be for the parking ticket, whether it is the person who parked the car presumably or the registered owner. Because I know with respect to tolls, normally if there's a violation of a toll, the violation goes to the registered owner. I know that because my son went through a toll one time and I got it. So it does happen. So I can't say that the state has met its burden in this case. So the motion to dismiss is granted. Thank you. Take a recess while we start the next one.
Thanks for the good luck, Jason. I wouldn't have warned about it.
Good job. Take the opportunity.
I always look at you as the moment of spotlight. I mean, it's going to be a few years before you do it again. Yeah. Have a good day, guys.
Good job, Ryan.
Hey, Don. Great.
Nice to see you.
Is this your phone? Congratulations.
We have to on track matter.
So,
Folks, can we get going?
We'd like to invite you to visit freekeene.com. Freekeene.com features audio, video, and blogs chronicling the transition to a voluntary society. Freekeene.com also has comments and discussion forums so you can be heard. Freekeene.com.
I should be in Keene, New Hampshire with the Free Staters.